Hi guys! Today I'm doing a video reply to my friend Palmetto Prepared, who walked through his yard and showed off 30 perennials that he has. I'll have a number of how many I have when this is over the video because I'm too lazy to write them all down ahead of time, so we're just going to walk through the yard and check them out. So this one with that bird flying around in here is a white oak. And so is that, and so is that, and so are all those. Those are all white oaks. They produce acorns. They're about 250 years old. I live in an unincorporated area, and it was founded by the French fur trappers and the natives back in the day, in the actually mid-1700s. So some of these are very old. Okay, oak. This is my marionberry vines. We actually have 2 rows here of marionberries. They are awesome. They were created in Oregon. It's a cross between 2 different kinds of blackberries. So I'm not going to count the blackberries I have as well, because marionberries are pretty much blackberries, but they're bigger. They're a cross between these 2 berries, whatever ones I put down there. And again, Oregon State University. Woohoo! Go Beavs! They're the ones that created this in their extension program. So let's move on. Over here is my blueberry patch. I used to have 16 bushes, then I got knocked down to 12. Then I planted 3 more. But they're coming on strong, they're doing well. It's almost time to cover them up, but we got the blueberries. And then here I have 1 apple and a 2nd apple. So we've got a couple apple trees. Look at all those apples. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Over here we have 2 pear trees, which are also gorgeous. Peaches. Got the peaches going on here. Peaches. This is a peach, that's a peach, that tiny thing over there is a peach, and this is a plum tree. So what else do we have? These huge trees back here are red leaf maple, or no, they're maples. They do turn red in the fall. Palmetto counted these because you can tap them for syrup, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but you can tap any kind of a maple tree for syrup. Some are better than others, but any of them will work. Here we have the ancient and lovely rosemary. This started out pretty small, and now it's practically a tree. It actually does grow over the roof, and we trim it back, and I've propagated this many times, given it away to friends and family. Over here I have a laurel, which is the herb bay. You know, when you put bay in as an herb in your stews or soups or whatever, that's where that comes from. And again, we chop the heck out of this tree, and it always just comes back. It'll grow up and around the roof as well. I keep calling it a tree. It's actually a bush, but it seems like a tree to me. Over here we have asparagus. It's all ferning out now because it is fall. It is the end of spring, going into summer, and some of these berries are starting to set. We'll talk about that again when they actually get red, but asparagus can be propagated from seed or planted from seed, and the female plants will get these little tiny flowers on them and go to seed, and we can plant those. That's another video. Over here we do have roses. Palmetto didn't say anything about roses. I think he probably has some, but rose hips, it's a good medicinal. This needs to be sprayed, and it's full of vitamin C. I also have lemon balm here, beautiful sage, oregano, and I think my thyme died. The thyme died. This monstrosity, can you guess what this is? The size of these leaves. This, my friends, is horseradish. It dies, it comes back every year, bigger and better. I dig up the roots and make fresh horseradish for the holidays. And finally over here, from my last real perennial, is a spruce. It's a gray spruce. And you can eat the tips in the springtime. The new tips come on. And you can harvest these and eat them. Great source of vitamin C. It has magnesium and potassium in it as well. I actually did harvest a bunch of these, and we're going to make a syrup out of it. Actually, I'm making a syrup out of it, and I'll put a video out on that when that happens. So that's really the end of my true perennials. Of course, I have some that I think of as perennials because they just never seem to stop coming back, and one of those things are these little garlics and onions, because they just go to seed where they are. They come back, and I keep getting them year after year after year. And like right here, this is a garlic. I can tell because the leaf is nice and flat, but I'm sure there are a couple onions in here too. And also something that you plant that you'll always get back is potatoes. You can never get them all out because sometimes they just have little tiny seeds in there, and they'll come back. And you'll be like, wait, I didn't plant that potato there. Well, you didn't, but a bird did. Another one that's a reseeder on its own, of course, is my Swiss chard. It's all going to seed right now, and that's fine. I'll let it go to seed, and I'll collect the seeds and give them away. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So there I go. I don't know how many that is off the top of my head, but I'll make a number and put it down below. And thanks, Palmetto, for doing this video. I'm also going to tack onto this and do a walk around my neighborhood and look at what other people have just on the street, just on my street down here, because I've got neighbors with cherries and oak trees, cherries and walnut trees, 2 different kinds of walnuts, and just a whole variety, hazelnuts, lots of different kinds of berries, raspberries, and huckleberries, and all other kinds of things. So anyway, I guess that's it for now, and look forward to seeing that, or I'll look forward to making that video for you. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and what do you have in your yard?